And you, my friend, are going to be, unless you have to use the bathroom?
What?
Do you have to use the bathroom?
Not yet.
Dude, if
Do you have water?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Room temp or cold?
Cold.
You're going to be right here?
Okay, great. Great. All right.
Tom, I don't know how many podcasts you have done in the recent past.
Too many.
Have any of them ever given you a can and first wiped down the lid?
No. One gave me a piece of art, though.
Oh.
Is this like you set decorated this your...
This is I live here.
You live here?
Yeah, so this is my living room that I just put stuff into. I try to have it be both.
You're single, I take it. All right, puppy, I'm gonna see how this goes. What legs up? Oh, there you go. Do you work out with those little weights?
Yeah, I've had a couple of surgeries, so I do physical
What
therapy.
surgery?
Arthritis in my elbow and shoulder.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
debridements in both.
Yeah.
You?
I've had surgeries. I haven't had any of. I've had surgeries. To get skin cancer. I grew up on a farm before they invented sunscreen. So, and then each 6 months they cut bigger fucking pieces out, bigger and bigger.
Where?
Well, so far not a little thing in my face, but huge scars on my sides, my front, and whatever. The middle of my back, that was hard because I had my kids change my bandages. But you know, that's just something that you have. I
don't want to be rude while you're talking surgeries.
No, I went septic. Had something inside of me explode, so that I have like an emergency scar all the way down, and then I had to have 6 surgeries after that to fix all the shit they did. But I'm good. I'm good. I am.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.
You stretch?
Not as much as I'd like.
You're taller than I thought you'd be.
How tall do you think I would be?
Shorter. Do you know Max Mizell?
That's who booked this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Like, he's a real cute little guy. Like, very groomed and things. I figured since you knew him, you're probably the same height. You know, people like to hang out with their peers. Very nice guy.
Do you tend to hang out? How tall are you?
6'2".
You only hang out with 6'2" people then?
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger is 6'2". I think everybody used to be. What? Do you have a picture? Who's he with in there? Arnold, I can't see.
By the way, for what it's worth,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, that's Joe Weider.
I didn't put this here because you're here,
No, I saw it nice. Look at that shit, man. Look at that.
buddy. As everybody did, pretty much at my age.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up idolizing him, but it was poster. It was. He was the king to me growing up.
I have 2 giant posters in my house that my son put up. My son is a big fan of Arnold. They're great. I have one with him and Franco Colombo, who is his best friend.
Yeah, of course.
Down at the beach, when they went down there to pose. It's pretty cool. And then one of him from 1974, I think, the South Africa bodybuilder look. I mean, he just looked excellent. Just excellent. And so I got that. He's a good dude. You know, he's not 6'2" anymore, I'll let you know. But he's good. He still works out every day, 4:30. Gets up, seizes the day.
Carpe diem.
Yeah, that too.
Doesn't that mean seize the day?
I think it does. But are you trying to one-up me?
Well, you had a lot of surgeries.
Latin?
I want to let you know I know a couple
I've
of
had
Latin
more surgery,
phrases.
but you're younger. How old are you?
28.
Are you shaming me? You're an old fucking 28, dude. No. I mean that in the nicest way, but you got some city miles. If you'd have said I'm 42, I'd been like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not an insult. Yeah.
Hello, Alvin. About to do a podcast, and before every podcast, pretty much, I take a hit of Magic Mind. Stuff is so good. You can get yours at magicmind.com/Rick for 50% off your first order. That's magicmind.com/Rick for 50% off. Right now, ButcherBox is offering our listeners $20 off their first box and free protein for a year. Go to butcherbox.com/TYSO to get this limited time offer and free shipping always. That's butcherbox.com/TYSO. And don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
ButcherBox. Do it.
I just directed my first movie, and the editor worked on it simultaneously, which has been helpful.
What's the movie about? What's it called?
It's a high-concept comedy called The Breakup Pill. You'll probably like it. It's about a kid that has had a lot of bad breakups. And his most recent, he can't get over her. He texts her. He happens to show up at places where she is. It's a problem. And so his therapist, she's trying to help him. It has to do with his childhood, of course, and his mother didn't like him, and his dad's a weirdo. But there's a guy in her building, one of these medical buildings, that invented this pill that's doing a trial on a pill. You know how they do drug trials?
Oh, yeah.
And it's a breakup pill, and the guy's a neurologist, and what it does is it shuts down a part of your brain where you have bad stuff, where, bad memories of whatever. But it makes it so it clears out so you don't keep going back to the person. And his girlfriend, he starts taking a pill, part of the trial. He gets paid, of course. His ex shows up. He blows her off. He's never done anything like that. And then when he meets someone he genuinely likes, it's a good person. As they start to fall in love or get amorous or whatever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. He starts vomiting or et cetera. Convulsions. And so he thinks it's the pill that's screwed up his brain. And so he goes to get the antidote. I'm the doctor of the day. Give the antidote, and that seems to be working okay. Then we have to call him in and go, you're giving a placebo the whole time. Because a certain amount of test people, in a test gets a placebo. And and also the breakup pill was causing some bad side effects. Everything has side effects. These were bad.
What kind of side effects? Stomach aches?
Anal leakage. Anal leakage. If you get anal leakage on any drug, I don't care how wonderful it, people won't take it. If that's even a possibility, they used to have this diet drug called Ali or something. You took it, and the one side effect was anal leakage, and people they lost their marketing, just like the AIDS diet candy lost their when AIDS happened. Even though it was spelled different, it was hard to sell AIDS to people.
People buy hearing aids.
Yeah,
people buy lemonades.
That's true. Yeah, but it's different because the candy actually looked like AIDS.
What does AIDS look like to you?
I don't know, like dark brown fake chocolate.
That's what AIDS looks like to you?
I ate a lot. My mother was on those. I ate a lot of them. Chocolate X-Lax, remember that? Break into candy.
28.
Cabinet? Yeah. 28.
Hey, question for you.
Yeah.
I've heard about anal leakage because I remember that there was either a sketch or a real potato chip. I think it was a real thing that some potato chip could cause anal leakage. And I didn't know what that meant. Does that just mean you have a little bit of diarrhea every now and then? Like when you pee and you put your penis away too soon?
I don't know that that's like sort of the sharty area. It just, by the description, it just sounds bad. I think it's beyond where you're peeing and all of a sudden you're like, oh, God damn it, I got to shit. I got to sit down somewhere.
What would you call pee leakage? Just leakage?
Pee leakage? Yeah, leakage. I think that as you get older, it doesn't just leak out like a hose that's dripping out, but you get so, oh my God, I got to pee. Okay, I'm going to stop it. But a little bit, it gets out.
I actually have a stand-up bit about that.
You do?
Okay, now you're 70. You're doing stand-up about the way you have always a little tiny piss stain on the front of your pants.
I don't even go to the bathroom anymore. I just wiggle my dick and a little piss comes out. I'll tell you, every time I go pee, I have to shake it so long, I'm not even playing with it anymore. Hell, I'm marrying the thing. I'll go to the bathroom sometimes. I'll pee. I'll be done. I'll pretend I'm leaving just because I know as soon as I get outside, a little dribble's going to come out. I will pee. I will flush. I will grab the door handle. I'll shake the door handle while I'm shaking my dick to get some out. I don't know if the pee knows that I don't want to be inconvenienced. I sometimes travel. I bring 2 pairs of extra underwear just in case I'm done pissing and a little bit of trouble comes out.
That was incredible.
And we're back.
And who's Lisa Gilroy? She a comedian?
She is. She
sounds good, familiar.
She I I think she's one of the funniest people in the world.
Yeah.
I became friends with her maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She does stand up sometimes. She's new to that, but she's an improviser mostly, and she's she's in like every show now, a little role in like every show.
I will do a deep dive on her after I leave here.
Yeah, it's crazy how funny she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Thanks for coming over, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing a stand-up tour
I am
starting August?
soon.
Soon.
No, I think Friday.
I don't know. I was thinking end of summer. It ends.
Yeah,
in summer,
it's
maybe.
all throughout. It goes into the fall, and it's everywhere. I haven't done a tour for a long time. Like, this is super organized because the kid that's a comedian, Max Meisel,
Instagram up here.
he super organized little guy, man. He's got it. And then once we booked, I said I need to book weekends because around here you could do one-nighters and they'll pay you a little bit, outside of town. But I said I need to be paid all of it because I genuinely need the money. I've been in court with my ex for 8 years. Not divorce court. That's settled right away. But stuff with my kids. I'm a single dad. My kids are 12 and 9. And I have to...
They live with you, right?
Yes.
What's the case about? What takes 8 years?
She wants more custody and want me to have less custody because the alimony that I was paying her ended on my 65th birthday, which is March 6th last year.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And, before you're 65 and you die, people are like, oh my God, so soon, that's sad. But when you die at 65, people are like, fuck him. He had a good run. I'm not going to worry about that guy.
That's the date.
But yeah, but I like getting older. People are like, because I like being alive. So, and I'm a dad, I love it. So, yeah, that stopped, and there's sort of signs. The court, if you're in court that many times, the judge will order a psychological evaluation. That's just, And the great court psychologist downtown here at the Stanley Mosque,
Shout out to the Stanley
courthouse,
Mosque.
came back, goes, well, she's not a psychopath who wants to murder you. And I'm like, that's good. She's a sociopath who wants other people to murder you, like the cops. Like, she called the cops. She swats us. And then the judge actually wrote a thing, court order, said, you cannot call the police for any reason. Like, nobody has ever seen anything like where you tell this person for any reason, not just him or them. So,
What are you saying? They said to your ex that she's not allowed to call 911?
Yeah. I could have brought it's all public record. Everything I talk about now, because it's in the court. And then,
so then what's happening? So you can't call 911, but she wants more money, and it takes 8 years.
well,
to
it's
figure that
always
out?
about, it's just about, can you say fuck? Okay, effing with me.
Tom,
F with
Tom,
me. And,
Tom.
and,
You could swear.
okay, it's always about fucking with me. And it doesn't, there's no empathy for the kids because also a narcissistic sociopath, that's what her diagnosis was. And so I had to start reading on that because you think I'd be a narcissist. Like, I get up on stage, I'm doing an interview with you in your house. I don't know you, but look at me broadcasting to however many fans you have.
A lot.
How many do you have?
I don't really know.
Do you have a lot? Okay, good. I heard you a lot from Max. Big time. It's
Go ahead.
It's funny to be here.
Go ahead.
I lived close here when I was
Wait,
first
no.
started.
You were going to pass a judgment joke, and you censored it, and I'd like to hear what that
Well,
joke
no,
would be.
it's like it's great. It's cute. It's
Tom,
cute.
speak
place.
freely. What are you noticing? What are you feeling?
Your basketball trophies. How old were you when you got those?
Those are from a comedy basketball league that I got when I moved out here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a trophy too because I was the MVP of Rocket Jock. Do you remember that? You're not old enough.
I know
That's
what it
where
is.
celebrities, actors, and musicians, and then some professional athletes, and they play. And I was the best of all, but I'm not good for an athlete, but I'm good for an actor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's the main difference between the two of us.
Yeah. What is it?
I'm good for an athlete, but I'm a horrible actor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Psych.
That's funny. Are you Jewish?
Thank you for not assuming. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a Star of David on your chest?
No.
I do. I'm more Jewish than you, buddy. Yeah.
Does getting a tattoo make you more Jewish?
Well, if someone's good at sports and they're Jewish, their picture's probably on the wall of my house. There's not a million of them, but we got Sandy Koufax all over there that I kind of keep track. Sometimes at
Was
football.
Bob Feller Jewish?
Who?
Bob Feller?
No, he's from Iowa though, where I'm from.
Oh.
He's like, growing up in a small town in Iowa, Iowa, my grandpa would be like, just keep it on the down low. He goes, so far there's not enough Jews to hate.
Question for you. Do you think that there was too much time being spent being anti-Semitic where you grew up and not enough time researching sunblock?
Well, again, sunblock wasn't invented when I was
That's
growing
what I'm
up.
saying.
And we used to use baby oil and iodine. And that's, the consequence. Plus, I have to say, when I'd work in the fields, me and my friends, like when we were 13, we'd go down and get in a school bus at St. Mary's Church, I guess it's called, with drifters and go 20 miles outside of town with us kids and these people that come across, these adults that came across the country to work in the fields, and parents thought that was fine. And then we get in there in the field, and they had crop dusters full of pesticides, and it'd come over at a certain time. They wouldn't pull us out of the fields. Our hair would get wet from the pesticides being spraying on us, because I think there's a lot of kids there that are like, fuck them.
I'm glad
we
I
can
put
lose
a
a
blanket
few.
down for you to sit on.
We can lose a few, yeah. Yeah, so that's, what was the other question? You had a good question that I went off on it.
Well, I remember
You had a funny quip. And then, what was your funny quip again?
Which one?
I know, you do.
Tom, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You're talking about crop dusting. Now, when I grew up, that was walking
Where
by a
did you
group
grow
of-
up?
Cleveland.
Oh,
Boy, are my arms tired.
yeah.
But where I grew up, crop dusting was walking by a group of people and farting.
Yeah, that's a better metaphor. This is real crop dusting.
Mine's more of a Jewish crop dusting,
Yeah.
and yours is typically
That's
not
true.
a Jewish
That's
crop
true.
dusting.
Have you ever had somebody fart on a plane and you're like, I need everybody to know that I didn't do that? Yeah.
Can I tell you something that was an interesting shift that I made not too long ago?
Yeah.
When I smell a fart,
Yeah.
and it's not mine,
Yeah.
and nobody speaks up for it, I'm assuming it's because they're a little embarrassed.
Right.
I will stand up and say, I just farted.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Take the bullet, man.
My dog will fart, and someone will
Yeah.
go, ugh, and I'll
Oh,
go,
yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great thing to do.
In fact,
my
I'm going to
daughter.
turn off my air purifier because it's
Okay.
making noise.
Can I keep talking?
I can't hear you until my headphones are on.
All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, should I have my headphones on my head?
If you want, I was just being playful.
Okay, no problem.
But you know what? Keep talking.
Yeah.
I'll be back in 20 minutes.
So, all right. Where's my drink? How many minutes have I been here? My daughter, last year, she was in second grade. By the way, my son is in fifth grade. He's 6'1", 220. He has size 14 feet.
Were you
And-
57 when you had him?
What?
You were 57 when you had him?
54 when I had him, 56
Seven-
when I had Quiddy. Yeah, almost 57. Yeah, I got a late start in fatherhood, and but I love it.
Is it with this? It's both kids are with this ex?
The fourth, yeah. I have 4 ex-wives. And you could have 3 ex-wives and still kind of go, women.
Are you a fan of Star Wars?
I am not. I'm sorry.
I could tell because I would have thought you would have stayed with your fourth.
Is that a Star Wars thing?
Well, may the fourth be with you.
Yeah. Well, I bought a lot of Star Wars memorabilia. And with my son, I took a leap of faith. We were at Disneyland, got him a lightsaber, and I knew what was going to happen. He can't control himself. He hit his sister with it. He can't have sticks. You can't allow him any, because he can't. He goes, what are you going to do? You got to hit somebody.
When I was a kid, and bleep this name,
Mm-hmm.
my brother had his friends over, and we were all playing outside. And I love swords. The one that I liked the most,
I
which
like swords.
was way before my time, but it was a He-Man sword, and the bottom base was a bit heavy because it has batteries in it because
Yeah.
it lights up.
Yeah.
And did something, I don't remember what it was. He like pushed me, and then he ran. So I took my He-Man sword and I threw it at him.
Yeah, that's
and the base of it hit the back of his
Oh,
head. He
yeah.
had to get stitches in his head.
Yeah.
He was bleeding a lot, and my parents took my swords away.
Yeah.
And look at me now.
They had to do it because his parents are probably like, you got to do something.
I don't think it was because of his parents. I think
Yeah.
my parents just wanted me to.
They're good parents. Sounds like they're good parents.
And now I'm a basketball player.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, my son has 3 3D printers, big, and he makes. First of all, the first thing he did was make a gun. I go get whatever that is, the program. It doesn't. You can't make a gun. There's no guns allowed in this house. The mom always calls the cops. He's got a lot of guns. Me. He's violent. The cops come over and go, I got no guns. And then I say to the kids, we got to hide the fucking guns now. I mean, everything she runs. But I go, that's not okay. Then he made this thing that is the big handle and sticks out a little bit. I mean, you have to get close to someone to stab it. And then he goes like this, and it's a whole sword. And it makes it, I don't know how it does that, but the thing in one piece makes it the 3D printer so that, do you have one of those too?
I have something else that it's making me think of.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
There's the little daggers that you could hurt someone with, but this sword, just to go like that and have it telescoped in and have it made in one piece, like I assumed you had to make several pieces and assemble it. It's pretty cool what they could do.
Sorry, I thought I had it. I just have a little bit of allergies.
Is your glasses cleaner? Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're doing a gig? Let me see. Oh, that's very cool. Where'd you get that? I got to get one.
There's
The kids
a
love
magic
it.
shop somewhere in the valley. I'll figure it out.
Man, I love that.
I'm a big prop comic these days.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if I'm a big prop comic,
Yeah.
but I'm 6'2",
That's funny.
6'3".
Yeah, you're 6'3".
And I like magic.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah. Okay. What happened?
We'll do it in post. We're gonna.
Oh, yeah. Oh, got it.
We're gonna. We're just gonna
Yeah.
put a little bit of snot in my nose.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Thanks, dude.
That's hilarious. You know what? I like, you hire some magicians for kids' parties.
You hire some what?
I've hired a couple magicians.
Would you
for kids'
consider hiring me for one?
Yeah, if you got to do that thing, you just.
I also
did.
have mustaches.
Like it's all that, and they'd think you're a funny guy. That's helpful.
Sometimes I do this. Kids like it. I go, oh shit. Excuse my language. I go, oh heck. I
Yeah.
got something on my glasses.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, they like that. Yeah, the little kids. Yeah. But hey, good. And I always have so much respect for them because anybody does kids parties, it's a nightmare.
I love it.
We had at my daughter's 3rd birthday when my ex and I were trying to live in the same house. She lives on one side, I live the other. She comes to my office and goes, I'm having a birthday party for Quinn in the playroom, and you're not invited. I'm just in my office. It's just one of those things you write down like, this is bananas.
Wait, who said you're not invited?
She said the mother said she was having a party in the playroom.
Right.
I don't know how many feet away. And I was not invited. So me and my assistants were in my office like, this is hilarious. Then I heard a commotion at the front door, and she comes in and says, you need to get out and get Jax. He's run upstairs because he's afraid of Minnie Mouse. You need to get him down here. He needs to participate in the party. So I'm like, okay. So I see Minnie Mouse, and she is a little afraid. It's like a big head, like a mascot head, and a short skirt. But it's like, does look pretty short, but it does look weird. Like if I saw that, and my daughter's crying too. So I go up, I go, son, you got to get out of here. Don't be afraid. By the way, I'm going to tell you a secret. It's a dude. And he goes, okay. So he comes back. It's a dude. It
makes it more comfortable that it's a guy.
Well, that makes it like real. He comes down, and my daughter's crying, and I see my ex. I have a video. I can show you the video. You can post it. It's my ex has made the housekeeper who just started, and my ex, they're holding hands, and the Minnie Mouse, and she's holding my little daughter who's still crying, and my son starts going, don't worry, Quinn. It's a dude. It's a dude. And she's like, you are ruining the party. It's like one of the best things I've ever. It's right before she moved out. I just loved it.
Why not be Mickey Mouse then?
Because it's my daughter. Like she was Minnie Mouse. Jax was, there are a lot of stereotypes. But the final thing is she comes back to my house afterwards. I made some video for her to have there. And she goes, Minnie Mouse needs to change her clothes in your office bathroom. I go, okay. So she comes in, changes her clothes. Now she's a magician. And I really do. I'm very respectful to the dude. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Goes back out to do a magic show in the living room. And after a while, she comes in. The kids will not pay attention unless you're sitting out here.
So you got invited.
I did get invited.
That's amazing. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. But that guy just covered with sweat from the head. Wear that head. But I mean, it's like people that do that are just safe.
I feel like that just if you sit outside for 20 minutes, you'd be sweating so much with how hot it is right now.
It is hot. I don't like it.
Question for you. In this court case with your ex.
In
this court cases, are any of them about them trying to take your ice trays?
My ice cube tray. Oh, gosh. You know what?
I come home one day and the house is completely empty. And I mean completely empty. She even took the ice cube trays out of the freezer. What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer?
The guy, the Booker guy, told me to bring one because they're kind of expensive. He's like, you got to order ice cube trays for the road because people bring them for me to autograph, especially at the Comic-Cons because of what kind of sick bitch takes the ice cube tray out of the freezer from True Lies. And it's hard to autograph a regular ice cube tray because they got to put your name. And so a dollar store has some that have a top like zip and you can sign them. And,
So you have ice cube tray merch?
well, I do now
ICTM?
because the guys like, you need to upgrade. And they had to print, it was real expensive for the first print or the thing. And they're little square. They're made out of some kind of rubber, and it has my name, property of Tom Arnold, whatever. And but they're black. I hope it sells.
Why not have your son 3D print some of them?
I'm way ahead of you. I already said to the guy, hey, Jax would like to, could he get the program? Because they want to hold on to it. That's like, he just wants to print one. Because he's like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I got 200 of them because I could do that. I don't want to steal somebody's intellectual property, but he would like to print. I mean, he makes he makes shoes. You'd love it because you got your rack of shoes there. He makes full-on Jordans and whatever colors.
That are wearable?
He thinks that they'll be wearable. He's made basketballs. Like he's really good at this thing. He's very, a little on the spectrum like his dad. And but he's good at figuring shit out. He's good with the computer and the game stuff.
Is this how he uses the computer?
Well, I just see him. He's very good at, because the mom's like, he's not. His handwriting is terrible. I want to sue the school. That's what she's like. I'm not suing the school, but he uses a pad. Kids don't even have to do handwriting. And I see him reading all the shit on the Fortnite shit and all the NBA 2K. There's a lot of information coming at you, and he's able to get all that in, digest and do his thing. He's fine.
You ever podcast with him?
I think I've had both kids join a podcast I did with my old assistant during COVID.
I just did a podcast with my assistant.
Yeah. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that commercial for where they would call 1-800-COLLECT?
Yes.
And they don't want to do the collect. So you know what I'm talking about already?
Yes.
Okay.
No, what's the punchline though? Are you being funny?
I mean, it was a funny commercial.
1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, that's where
there was a commercial. I don't remember if it was for that or they just used that in the commercial, but they basically called their parents to say that they just had a child, called collect, but they didn't want to have the parents pay for the collect call.
Yeah.
So when they say, "What's your name?" They called it. They said, state your name." He said his name is We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
I'd like to make a collect call, please. First name Bob. Last name is We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
Hello?
Collect call for Mr. Bob. We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
Sorry, wrong number.
Who's that, dear?
Bob, they had a baby. It's a boy.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And they're like, we have a collect call from We Oughta Baby It's a Boy. And they go, they had a baby, it's a boy.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Complicated.
Well, you know what? Back then, things were complicated.
Still for prison, you get a lot. My sister.
Your sister's in prison, or
she's
gets a lot of calls
now.
from
She's
prison?
been in prison a couple long 10-year sentences.
What happened?
Drugged. There's a documentary series about my little sister. It's pretty good. It's on from Discovery called The Queen of Meth. My little
Your
sister,
sister's the Queen of Meth?
Yeah. Biggest drug dealer
And you
in America.
think you're more Jewish than me? I don't think so,
I'm the
Mr.
Queen of
Arnold.
Meth. But I have to say, I don't think I'm more Jewish than you. But people are like, was it embarrassing having your sister be a drug dealer? And I'm like, not when I was doing drugs, it wasn't embarrassing. It's pretty freaking handy. But she considered a big business, so that's a little Jewish. Like our mom was a minor drug dealer, but she's like, I will do this and make it huge. I'll build an underground lab. I'll do all this stuff. I'll get all this. She really had but you do end up in prison. 2 of my brother-in-laws died in prison.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because they wouldn't apologize. No, it's great. It's fine. You just see it coming. But, you get too big. You're like so into it. And she's pretty good at prison. She handled the prison. She's
And she would make a lot of collect calls from prison is why you brought this up.
do. They'll say, so Lori, I got her to the Martha Stewart prison the first time in West Virginia. That's a nice.
You got her. You were able to help get in a particular prison.
I got a great lawyer. She had to go for 10 years no matter what, because she had a gun. You know, what to do it. She did. There's a great scene where the 3 DA agents who are pretending to be drug buyers, they're sitting at a table with her. They go, Lori, we're surprised you're not afraid to do these big deals by yourself. She goes, it's in her purse. Why would I be afraid? Sets her gun down there. You see a move. That's 10-year mandatory.
In this
minimum.
documentary,
Yeah.
is it actual footage of this that they were?
They interview the DEA guys. They have,
But they don't have
video clips of different things. I can't remember what all's in it, but there's a lot of the history. I'm in it because they go into our childhood.
Did she make some money from this, from giving the rights away?
She did get a little bit. It was funny. She'll always call me, should I do this thing? I go, that doesn't sound legit. But this time I'm like, they sound, how much gonna make? I need cash, you know.
How much?
And I'm not sure what she made. I would guess $50,000. But they had to pay her in a bag. Like, they had to pay her cash. She said, like, I just want cash. I don't want any evidence.
It's making me think of The Fighter. Do you remember that movie? With
With
Christian Bale
Mickey
and
Rourke?
Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's The Wrestler.
Yeah.
The Fighter is Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg. Such a good movie based on a true story of whatever the boxer's name is.
Yeah.
But they were doing a documentary on Christian Bale's character, and they thought it was about his comeback as boxing, but it was really just about his story of meth and.
Oh, yeah, right.
And it came out while he was in prison.
Oh,
so I wonder if he got any money.
That happens. When Christian Bale was in prison?
The character Christian played.
Oh, yeah. But the actual guy?
The actual guy.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens, a lot. People are in prison, or they go back to prison. It's hard,
That
man.
sounds like a Rodney Dangerfield movie. Back to prison.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to tell you a
Put up
brief
a poster.
story. She went to prison. I helped her the first time. Like, I was like, she deserves to be punished, but not with life in prison. They wanted the RICO statute. And I got a great lawyer, and she got out after 10 years. Her son was 7 when she went. That kid was 7 when both of his parents went to prison forever, basically. So we took care of him. We sent him to a little military school, but one where you got a uniform, like self-esteem. And
Like in The Sopranos. That
kid's never done drugs. That kid has never drank. He's never done drugs. He works 4 jobs. He just married a nice Jewish girl from Sacramento. They had a baby, and he's done very well. What's that?
Eats a boy? The baby?
The boy?
Is the baby a boy?
Yes.
We got a baby eats a boy?
Yes.
This episode is sponsored by
ButcherBox. All ButcherBox proteins are sourced from partners who meet strict animal welfare and sustainability standards. That means no antibiotics, no added hormones, ever.
Look at this.
Here are some nice new 6-8 ounce fillets.
Grass-fed, by the way.
Grass-fed.
Organic, no antibiotics chicken
look at
breast.
these fillets. Right, these are...
Woo! What do you think of these New Yorks?
Whoa, look at that.
So,
look at these, folks. That's a nice... Look at the marbling on that strip, the cryovac freezing. ButcherBox. This will last forever. I'm just defrosted, and I'm done. You know, how many times you come home and you just... What am I going to have for dinner tonight? Stock it up, baby. You come home, taking one off, defrost this strip steak, put it on the grill. You are money.
now you could do what Bobby Flay does. For the people that don't know, how do you finish it off?
Well, the Bobby Flay finish off is you cook the steak to a rare to mid-rare. You take
Slice
it off the grill. You vertically slice it. You take real butter, insert it in the vertical slices.
and finish it off in the oven. Right now, ButcherBox is offering our listeners $20 off their first box and free protein for a year. What that means is with every order, you get to pick a piece of protein, like a 1-pound grass-fed filet or New York. Go to butcherbox.com/TYSO to get this limited time offer and free shipping, always. That's butcherbox.com/TYSO. And don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
ButcherBox. Do it.
This episode is sponsored by Magic Mind. I love this stuff. I take it almost every episode. I also take it before I work out. I also take it if I just want to be in a better mood. I drove to Palm Springs a couple days ago, and I was in a mood. I didn't sleep much the night before. It was 105 degrees. I was like burnt driving. I was needing to find shade. And I took one of these, and I just was in such a good mood. Also, shout out to the guy, forgetting his name, who I met at the casino, who sat next to me as I had all my money on a hand, 11 against the dealer's 5, and I wanted a double, but I didn't have any money. And a guy sat next to me, and he said, "Hey, I'm a fan. My wife and I watch your podcast all the time. I said, thank you so much. Could I borrow $50? And he loaned it to me, and I gave it, I won, so I gave it back. But hey, if that was you, will you message me on Instagram? I remember your face, so I'll know if it's you. And let me send you some merch or something. Got new Alvin merch. His rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, am I doing an ad for my shirt? Am I doing an ad for Morongo Casino? Or am I doing an ad for Magic Mind? I get this shipped to my house now, like in Ohio when I go home. I want to have them in all of my fridges. It's got lion's mane for mental performance. It's got ashwagandha, L-theanine, and turmeric. It's got matcha for calm energy. Got vitamins B2, B3, B12, C, and D. 50% off. Try it. I don't know if they'll give you your money back if you don't like it, and I'm not going to tell you I will, because I don't know how many people are going to try to take advantage and be like, hey, just give me some money. But so I guess I can't technically guarantee it, but I'm telling you, this stuff works. I give it to people all the time. Are you ready to experience the magic? Go to magicmind.com/Rick to get 50% off. That's magicmind.com/Rick. I'm telling you, you're going to like this stuff.
Yeah, but, so a lot of times that the parents do one thing in my hometown, because so many people went to prison when my sister and brother-in-law did, because they all worked for her. Like a whole bunch of people from my hometown, they were starting to be raised by their grandparents.
I'm sorry, I'm a movie and a television guy, but this is really giving me American Gangster.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, I have to say, I always consider myself a bit of a badass. You can see in the movie, but she's
which movie? The movie you're talking about?
Yeah,
or
the
True
documentary.
Lies?
But you could see that people, nobody would narc on her even after, because she'd given them houses and stuff. People like her in this too. They don't necessarily like me, but they're like, you get it. She had it tough, got married at 14.
A lot of criminals are charming.
Yeah, they're charming. Con men are fucking charming, man.
You ever date one?
I don't know that I dated someone legitimately, but this, the last woman I married, my self-esteem was low. We started dating. I just broken my back, so a motorcycle ride on PCH, so I was on pain medication. It was a issue. You had your judgment, your self-esteem's down. But I think that slowly but surely I realized, I'm not, because you put on the glasses, those rose-colored glasses. And I did know that she was going to have kids no matter what. She would be, and it's a process with me because I have a very low sperm count. So she was tenacious about that. What's that?
I was going to ask.
Yeah, very fucking low.
Always?
Shocking. Well, when I went to the University of Iowa, I worked on the kill floor of a meat packing plant for 3 years to save money to go to the University of Iowa. And it was a pork processing plant. And my grandmother worked there too. There's the only Jews are working at this place, but it's a job. We still eat bacon. People get bacon all the time.
You got to get to the sperm, dude.
Yeah, I'm a reform. So for a job, I worked at the hospital school at the University of Iowa. And you come into work, there'll be a sign, donate plasma $7 or blood $7. I did it all. Back then it was nickel beer night. I'm older than you. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life, God? And I came in, her side, donate sperm, $35. So I go home and get my 5 roommates. We're still friends. Go down there to the University of Iowa Fertility Clinic. Come busted in there. Doctor's like, slow down, boys.
You said busted in there? Is that
busted.
a pun?
We're so excited.
Oh, I think that's what you...
No, and we're like, he's like, I have to test your sperm first. And I'm like, okay, mine's sticky. I don't know if that's bad. But he tested my sperm and came out and pulled me out of the herd and said, son, you cannot be a part of our program. And I go, why is that? He goes, son, you don't have enough swimmers. I said, well, how many swimmers do I have? And he said 2. And I said, that seems like enough. You got, it's more
You're
than
saying
what?
2 million.
Yeah, 2 million, the other guys. So he said, you'll never get a woman pregnant the normal way.
Well, not with that attitude.
No, but because of science, when I got married when I was 30.
IVF?
I wanted a family, yeah. And I told Rosanne, Julie, Shelby, Ashley, I told them all, I'm not going to do it. It's my issue. I'm not going to have you mess up your body with the hormone shots. Let's get the adopt or get a sperm donor. And Shaquille O'Neal lived next door to me the whole time.
You had Shaquille O'Neal fuck your wives?
Yeah, I would have in a fucking heart. But he lived next door to me. And should I keep talking? Yep. Okay. And he made beautiful kids, man. And he was a very nice guy. And, in Iowa, oh, that's nice. How old is he in this one? Look at him, man. Little kid. Look at him, man. Yeah, he was. But he was the best. Oh, my God. What is that thing called? Top It?
Pop.
Yeah, kids have those. That's very cool. And he made beautiful kids. And then when you grow up in Iowa and on a farm, you want to borrow a cup of sugar from your neighbor. That's the old thing. But you just go over to the cup and say, can I have a cup of sugar? They're like,
Why are you talking about sugar? We're talking about your cum.
Well, because they give you these cups to go jerk off in.
Cum cups.
Yeah. And I was like, I see Shaq on we live on Cul-de-sac. I'm like, why don't I get a cup of Shaq? Like, really? I mean, could you imagine?
Yes.
Either of us, if we had a 7-foot-tall black son, how happy we'd be.
Wow, yeah.
We wouldn't be doing a fucking podcast.
What do you mean I wouldn't be doing a podcast? Shaq has
we
a podcast.
do it with our son.
Shaq has a
That'd
podcast.
Shaq has everything. He does every commercial.
I love Shaquille O'Neal.
I do too.
I love him on TNT. I love him on Instagram.
Yeah.
I love
that TNT show is so fucking good, right?
Yeah.
All those guys. There's no better sitcom. There's no better
It's one
show.
of my favorite shows, including scripted. I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't want to cut you off too much about your cum because
No,
I'm
low.
very interested because back then you got paid 7 times more for cum than you did for blood.
That's very true.
Which is interesting.
I think it was a new thing. You know, the fertility stuff, the IVF was new.
The most you've ever been paid for your cum is $35. How much was the most you've ever paid to cum?
Oh, that's a good question. Millions. millions and millions. Never had a prenuptial agreement.
Let me ask you. Let me go into some True Lies stuff. I got to.
You got to.
I have to ask some True Lies
Got
stuff.
to do it.
You
should see how big his toilet is in his house.
Who,
like,
Arnold's?
You think, no, it's Shaq.
Oh, Shaq.
It is Shaq size. Like you don't just have a regular house. You got to. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if it was a cribs or something. I saw something where Shaq. We saw his bed. He had a custom bed, and at the time, it was the biggest bed in the world.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Man, I still have a queen size bed.
Is queen size? What's full? Is that smaller than a queen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 2 side by side, like I don't know, call crap. They go up and down and vibrate, because my thinking was the kids, if they want to sleep with dad, if they're stressed or whatever, they can sleep on that side where they got their own remote control, and then I'll be able to remote control here. But they end up sleeping on both sides, and I try to squeeze it in the middle. End up sleeping in my daughter's room most of the time. But it's I guess that would be the equivalent of definitely a king. A queen's big enough for you. What do you got going? You don't want a king size in this place. It wouldn't even fit in the door.
We're back to this now.
No, but I'm saying that would be stupid. I'm going to have a king size bed.
A king size bed wouldn't fit in this place.
I mean, you might to get into that door down there and come up.
It's a regular size door.
Okay.
Also, if you get a Helix mattress, they come rolled up.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
the
familiar?
Helix, the blow up, and those ones a blow
It's not a blow up. Helix is one of the most comfortable mattresses you could possibly find.
How do you spell it? Helix?
Helix. If you go to helixsleep.com/TYSO.
Can you put it on top of your other bed to sleep on?
Like what people used to do with their televisions?
Yeah.
It's not a topper. It's a full mattress.
Oh, yeah. I got one. I have one giant one for the kids. Maybe it's that brand.
No,
it blows up when they have
It doesn't blow up. It's folded up, and then it rolls out. It's a full mattress.
Well, how do you get it into do you have to blow it up?
No, it's folded up into a box. You can bring it upstairs, and then when you open the box, it unravels, and it's a full, proper mattress.
How big is the box?
They are able to, I mean, it's maybe this big, this wide.
But it stretches out a little bit. It breathes.
Because they really slip down, and you can take their 2-minute sleep quiz to find out your back sleeper or side sleeper.
Oh, wow.
That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good mattress.
Yeah, that's interesting. I will look out. Helix or Felix?
Helixsleep.com/TYSO.
Okay, that's good. Do you get paid by them?
Listen, I mean,
you should.
Do they sponsor the podcast every now and then? But
that's
when I
very
sell
cool.
it, if I didn't believe
sponsors?
in it, oh, yeah.
That's very cool. Very smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
I might not have a Star of David on my chest.
Yeah.
But I do have mattress helping pay for these
that's
lights.
very good. Very smart. All right, I'm sure that you're very loyal to your sponsors, too. You probably treat them very well, respectfully.
Well, if it's a product that I like.
Yeah. But would you advertise would you let something you didn't like you wouldn't let like a overtly anti-Semitic sponsor. I mean, how much would that?
If Chick-fil-A wanted to sponsor this podcast, I would do it just for trade.
Yeah. No, we eat Chick-fil-A. I'm not going to for food shit, I don't get involved with the boycott thing.
Right.
Number one, Chick-fil-A's not open on Sunday. That's their own business. They don't have to order it on Sunday. It saves me a lot. But I don't do this food thing like you like this or you like that. Like they had the right, the right was against Bud Light. But people eventually, if they like their food, they'll do it for a minute. They'll buy a lot of Bud Lights.
People don't care about the moral fiber of the owners and creators of food and of music typically.
Yeah. Hobby Lobby. I guess they're against whatever gay, whatever. Have you ever been to a Hobby Lobby? It's the best fucking store.
Yes, I've been to Hobby Lobby, and I don't believe Hobby Lobby is against gays when that is a big part of their clientele.
It is. Sometimes it's ironic, but they have a anti-choice or something came up. It doesn't matter. It's the best store, and we buy a lot of our Christmas stuff. Yeah, we're Jewish, but we have 28 Christmas trees.
The only anti-choice Hobby Lobby I'm aware of that they've had is the choice to not have a great BOGO deal.
What's BOGO?
Buy one, get one.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You know what? There's some good deal. Forever 21. You ever been there over at the mall, the Fashion Square? They went out of business. So the last week every day they had shit looked like they'd had a tornado in there, but stuff was so freaking cheap. I bought my daughter clothes that'll fit her now, and clothes that'll fit her at the high school, her graduation high school, got her wedding dress.
That's dangerous because it might fit her, but the style will be different.
Yeah.
Who knows if people want, like, hey, in 6 years, you're going to be wearing this thing. I don't know if that's going to be hot in 6 years.
It's funny. It's funny that way. But I wear the same stuff I've always worn. So I guess the suits that are very long in the length.
It's different. Men and women are different when it comes to clothes.
That's true. But it's fun now. I'm sure she'll need all new stuff. But it's so cheap. Do you ever buy stuff because it's so freaking cheap you can't believe it?
No.
Okay. That makes sense.
In fact, I will sometimes want something. Mm-hmm. I'll see how cheap it is, and I'll be like, it's probably no good.
Yeah, that's true. It's not. But you 2 for $1s, or you buy 2, you get 1 free just at Ralph's. I go in there. I'm a member of the Ralph's. I look at that. So I got to have 3 of those then. I was literally getting 1, but if you buy 2,
what's
you get
an
1
example
free.
of something that you
Everything.
need 3 of?
What's that?
Give me an example of something that you only need 1, but you'll buy 3 of at Ralph's.
Well, any kind of, I'm just trying to think, any kind of like this. Once in a while, they don't really do that because that's a good people like that. But they have stuff in there like energy drinks and that I don't even know. They'll do it and cupcakes. You buy 2 of the cupcake things, you get a 3rd one free. I was only going to buy 1, and I'm like, shit, I got to get 2 to get 1 free.
Here's where I am on this. My mom's this way. There's a deli where I grew up that I absolutely love. Shout out to Davis Bakery, by the way. Great chocolate chip cookies with a little bit of almond extract in it, and it's just they're delicious. If you buy a dozen, you get 6 for free.
Oh,
so you're getting 18 for the price of 12.
That's great.
The thing is, I don't want to have 18 cookies inside of me.
Right.
I want to have 3, maybe 4. But then your dad wants some.
Yeah.
So we'll buy 5, 8 cookies. But then they're like, but if you buy 12, you get. Yes, we're getting a better price per cookie, but now it's enabling more cookie consumption. And some people value the price more than what they're actually wanting. And I try to not go by how much am I paying per cookie, but versus what do I actually want? And is it worth it to spend an extra $4 to get an extra 8 cookies? Even for 50 cents a piece, it's a great deal. I don't want to eat them.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's...
But you can hide them in the garage. So once you don't want to, and then maybe you'll forget that they're in the garage refrigerator, and you're like going about your day, and then like, I'm not obsessing on cookies.
But here's the thing. I like to get... You're sober, yes?
Yes.
So I don't drink. I do like weed.
Good for you. That's good.
I do edibles.
Oh, yes.
And when I eat weed edible, I would do them all the time. I don't. The main reason...
I feel like you do them often. I feel like there's a lot of that going on here.
Does this place have Weed Energy?
Yeah.
Thank you. I think Weed Energy and New York Energy is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the main reason I don't have weed as much as I would like is because when I have weed, I can't really control myself with what I eat. And the treats. So when I have treats at home, I'm going to eat them. So I try to not have them here. I like to have dried mangoes and some healthier treats. Because every night to eat cookies and donuts and churros.
That's why you're in good shape, man. That's very smart. That's a really, that's a way to be.
And the weight to be.
But do you ever at night, like you're stoned, you're like, I got to have something.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If I got to have it, I could get it. But if I don't got to have it and it's here, I'm going to eat it. But if it's not here and I got to have it, I'll order some desserts.
Yeah.
So I still have access to it, but it's kind of, you ever have food in front of you and you're not really hungry, but it's there, so you pick at it?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that with desserts.
Yeah. Well, with my kids, I got this disease from my dad. I won't throw if they don't eat something, I won't throw it away. I'll eat it.
Have you ever talked to Arnold about this stuff?
Pardon me?
Have you ever talked to Arnold about this?
Oh God, he's a hardliner about this stuff. But he also has his little bit of schnapps, and he has whatever that.
He has his cigars.
German fucking pastry. Strudel.
Yep.
Yeah, he smokes little cigars.
He loves coming, Arnold. He comes in the gym. He'll come
he does,
with his women.
Yeah.
He loves to come.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to talk to you about True Lies and Arnold.
Go for it.
But before I do, I want to acknowledge your truth because I don't know you.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've talked about a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to think of this podcast not as much of an interview as a conversation and doing bits and stuff.
I can tell, yeah.
That being said, when some people come on that I've never talked to before, there are some things I got to ask.
Well, of course.
If there's ever a moment where you feel like, I don't mind talking about this stuff, but this is boring for me or I've talked about it too much, I want you to tell me the truth and be like,
I will always tell you the truth.
So
I mean, I'll always, not the absolute, but if it's important to me, I'll say something.
Okay. Because I want you to have fun in this. You don't know me. I want this to be worth it.
I want to have fun here too.
Okay. What can we do?
Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's not David Frost versus whatever. Have you seen that series? David Frost versus Muhammad Ali versus Nixon versus, the big. They have a documentary series about his interviews.
No, I think I know who you're talking about. Is the best I could say. But when I hear Frost,
you don't know who Muhammad Ali was?
I know Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
When I hear Frost, I think of the bad guy from the Blade 1 with Wesley Snipes.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with Blade 1?
I've seen it, but I don't remember the character's name.
Are you familiar with Wesley Snipes?
I'm familiar with Mr. Freeze from Batman's the super gay one of
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to call it super gay because it makes it seem like gay is derogatory. And at the end of the day,
I don't know. No, I mean that's.
Mr. Freeze actually played homosexual. He was a homosexual.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think gay's derogatory either. I've been married to 4 straight women, and I'm very open to whatever. Because you make the same mistake over and over.
Right. You're saying maybe it's time to switch to men.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I mean, it's a good deal for men. My brother's gay,
and I know you
got
have
a hell of a
deal.
Because you're like, or be bi, and you got everybody.
Yeah.
But I haven't had sex in 8 years because I haven't had a date in 8 years.
Well, why don't we fix that?
Yeah, I can fix it.
Prove it.
But no, to have a date, I can have a date. I got so much on my table, I masturbate. I got that little thing, which is my private.
Was I about to ask you about some Arnold stuff, and you just went on a rant that ended with you masturbate on a table?
Don't you masturbate?
On a table?
No, in tape, you go into the second bathroom when the kids are asleep with your lesbian porn. They have free lesbian porn on Twitter or whatever it's called now. Like,
they have free lesbian porn on Twitter? That's where you get your porn?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to buy, like and they'll have one quick, and then if you don't like that one, they go wide. It's a little different. Then bam, bam, bam. It's a.
What's the bam, bam, bam? Are you talking
the
about from Flintstones?
They put up new videos every day, but they're short, kind of, different scenarios where they're.
There's free websites where you have long form pornography.
I don't need long form. I have no interest in that. I want the best seeds of things where they get down. Long form.
Do you just watch movie trailers?
I would. I like watching movie trailers.
You don't like watching the full movie?
Sometimes, but you don't have time for that. But I watched a lot of trailers, and then I try to get to the movie.
Wesley Snipes is in Blade.
Yeah.
He's also in Passenger 57, which a movie I was thinking about earlier when you were talking about 3D printing guns, because in Passenger 57 they made that plastic gun to go through. I think that was the movie.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know Passenger 57. I can't remember the exact. I've forgotten a lot of things, I have to tell you. And when people come up, I filmed this little movie thing, and the guy's like, remember when we worked together? I go, no. Yeah, remind me, I always say. And
that's
30
nice.
years
I like
ago.
that instead of a fake yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If I could tell they're not going to just move on. If they're like, remember we worked together? Yeah. And then they move on, it's fine. But if they're going to be around you, and what it is, once you see their eyes and they tell you a story, it's usually, I wouldn't have known them then, but if you look at somebody's eyes, you see someone you went to high school with, and they go, remember me? And I go, remind me. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. And then when they start reminding who they are, and I look at their eyes, I go, I do remember. I'm going back to that. But they've had the luxury of seeing me get old, so it's not startling when they see me. So, yeah, I try to remember. And if someone said, hey, remember you worked with my dad? 100% of the time I'll say, yeah. Because you know what? It's their dad, and it'll hurt their feelings because their dad probably told a story about, hey, I get this a lot. Remember the meatpacking plant when you got a fight with my dad? I go, yeah. I do.
Do you ever say that just for the kid and then look at the dad and go,
it's usually their dad. The dads or grandpas are dead. So it makes the kid needs this.
hey, you were talking about working at the meat packing plant in the pork as if that's why you had low sperm. You were just setting the story, right?
Yeah, that's how
Can I tell you something?
That's how I do comedy.
That's long form porn.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a little bit of information before we talk about the cum.
Yeah, I'll consider that. But no, I don't
Can
like
I show
long.
you some
I
of
don't
my
like
favorite
long
long form?
form
Can I
porn.
show you some of my favorite long form
Joe,
porn?
what are you gonna do? What's your favorite long form porn?
I don't know if I have a favorite genre.
Yeah.
But I do have favorite actresses.
Who? Yeah, tell me.
I don't know. I just have them saved.
There's a couple
names.
women that have a podcast like this that review porn, like the lighting, whatever. And I reviewed with them because they're very cool chicks. Nayland Palin. It was about Sarah Palin and the woman that played Sarah Palin, Lisa
Ann.
Yeah, she was so good.
This was 10, 15 years ago.
It was 2008 was Sarah Palin was Raphael.
Imagine if instead of coming to Lisa Ann in 2008, you spent that time and energy buying Bitcoin.
I didn't come to that, but I kind of respect her professionally. She was so good at it. They filmed in like 2 days. They covered a lot of goods. The whole movie was great.
Well, so there you go.
Yeah.
Lisa Ann, for those of you that don't know, is a brunette porn star with big
great.
old boobs.
Yeah, we're friends now.
And a fat ass.
Yeah, I hope so.
You should go on a date with her.
She goes out to, puts on shows, live shows.
Yeah, she likes comedy, I know.
Just like us. Yeah, well, that's what she got. But she's very good at that, man. A lot of respect for her. What else are you going to say? Bitcoin? When did Bitcoin happen? Like, I would never invite, I mean, like, that seems scammy.
Okay.
I can lose money in other ways. Never really had a lot of...
Bitcoin came out around 2008.
Do you have Bitcoins?
Yeah.
That's good. It's done well for you?
Yeah, it's all unrealized, most unrealized. I've sold some profits, but I got into it maybe 7 years ago.
Is Bitcoin and crypto the same thing?
Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency.
Okay, cryptocurrency.
The U.S. dollar is
a
what's the word? Is a fiat currency.
Yeah.
Crypto is a digital currency.
Right. But my friends that have digital currency, like are the richest people, and they're young and they've got front row seats at the Clippers.
Do you know who I think the richest people are? People that are close to their family and have a nice social network. They have their health.
The health is good.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have the right family to be close to, don't you?
Yeah.
That's very lucky.
You and I grew up, it sounds like, with different kinds of family in a different area, but we still love comedy.
Very much.
And it just goes to show you, comedy is a universal language amongst white Jewish guys
that
really
are
American.
Let me tell you something. I dreamed of being a comic because when I was little, my dad was a single dad too. When he was 22, I was 4, my sister's 3, my brother's 1. Like, that's a lot. Yeah, because and the only time we ever heard him really laugh was when there was a Bob Hope special. Bob Hope used to do these specials where he'd go to Vietnam or North Korea or whatever, entertain the troops. And he'd bring very pretty women and do double entendre jokes.
He was going to North Korea?
Have I ever gone to North Korea?
You're saying Bob Hope was performing in North Korea?
He went to the DMZ up there. That's close enough to North Korea. But he went to, wherever troops are. Okinawa. I've been to Okinawa. I've been to...
Quit bragging.
Yeah, Afghanistan. But that's what we do. You know that. But my dad would really laugh. And I said, whatever Bob Hope does, I'm going to do that. And one of the first things I did in Hollywood was a Bob Hope special.
Cool.
And so Bob Hope was so nice, he called my dad. You know how it is when people are nice to the family that you like.
That's why you want to lie to people at the mill about their dads, that you remember their dad.
Yeah. And that's right, because I know that. And he called my dad, and he signed all the shit. And my dad in the same living room in Ottumwa, Iowa, where he used to watch his Bob Hope, when his son was this big, now sees his son standing next to Bob Hope on TV. Like, that's pretty magical, right? So that's why I want to be a comedian. Now, I almost gave up my 3rd year at the meatpacking plant because the money's good, you got benefits, and I just couldn't figure out really how you got to Hollywood from Ottumwa, Iowa. It'd never been done. And I walked out from a disco one night, and Andy Kaufman was standing on the street corner in Ottumwa, Iowa. And I couldn't believe it. So when he was on a taxi and stuff, like, shit. People were kind of gathered around him. And we had a women's wrestling event at the Atomo Coliseum.
Oh, great.
He'd come down to wrestle and paid him extra to stay later to wrestle him to practice. And they took everybody in school buses to Happy Joe's Pizza. I'm like, that's the guy I want to be.
My grandparents went to a show of his once where they went out for milk and cookies. He took everybody.
Oh, yeah,
out for
yeah,
milk
that's the
and
thing he
cookies.
did. He was studying transcendental meditation in Fairfield, Iowa, which is 20 miles away at whatever that university's called. And so that was the reason he was there. But I'm like, he could get here. There must be a tube to get him from Hollywood to here. I must be able to go back that way.
All right, let me ask you some Arnold questions and
Yeah,
some True Lies questions. I met Arnold twice.
Yeah, where?
First time I met him was we were both getting an MRI at the same place on our shoulders.
Interesting. Where was that? Do you recommend it? Are they sponsored the show?
They're not a sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
Bleep the name.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good place.
Yeah.
Very good place, yeah.
Second time I met him was I had him on the pod.
Oh, he was on this pod?
I had him on this pod once when he was promoting his book.
Oh, yeah, that was a good book, yeah. How long ago was that?
Last year. I don't remember when.
Really? That's great.
You guys still buddies?
Yes.
What's that?
Saw him last week. This is, I've never spoke, but I like these Nicorette mints. They're 4 milligrams.
Dude, you can't say that.
What? Nicotine. You can say nicotine.
You say nicotine or
Man.
nicotine American.
These are nicotine American or Canadian, but they're cheaper than the brand name. It tastes as you say. They're very tasty. I chew nicotine gum too. Never smoked. But it's a good. I like it.
Do you like caffeine?
Yes.
I have something that is a sponsor of mine, but I'm not telling it to you because they're a sponsor. I'm telling it to you because I love this stuff. I took it before this podcast. I take it before almost every podcast. They're called Magic Minds.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it's itchy.
They're so good.
Interesting, and it's like it's
a
green,
shot.
so it's healthy.
It's like
right?
it's part in like it's like in the energy drink category,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not synthetic stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Synthetic isn't the great term. It's not like
No, I know what you
bullshit.
mean.
It's proper.
And what is that thing that? Is there caffeine in this?
There's caffeine
How much?
in it. I don't remember the number. I want to make up and say 35 milligrams, but I could be way off.
It's more. It's more. It's got to be more.
They have a caffeine free one, a regular one, and a double. How much caffeine is in a Magic Mind? 55 milligrams.
Yeah, that's it.
But a lot of it is from matcha. It doesn't really give you much of a come down.
Yeah, that's very good. It's good. If I take 10 of these, but it's still very. No, I like that. So thank you for this. I will try it.
We when Arnold was on, we did talk a bit about True Lies.
Did he come to this apartment?
He was where you're sitting
Jesus,
with a cigar the entire time that I wouldn't let him smoke, and he just held on to it the whole time. You auditioned for that, but that wasn't. You weren't in with James or Arnold or knew any of them.
No, I'd met Arnold at charity stuff or just like peripheral. Like I didn't know him. And my agent, William Morris, is what it was called at the time, calls and goes, "Hey, James Cameron wants to meet you for this part in True Lies." So I was aware.
Oh,
of
he
the
asked
part.
for you.
Well, I was aware of the part because real actors were auditioning for it.
Who else?
So, John,
Voight?
not John Gielgud, the guy from Fourth Planet from the Sun, or
and Cliffhanger.
Yeah, what's his name? He's a very good actor. Ed Garp, he's from Garp, where he dressed like a woman. He's a great actor. There's a whole bunch of people with some comedy.
Third Rock from the Sun, by the way.
Third Rock, God,
You were
he's so
thinking of the
good.
fourth being with you.
He's good at everything. So I get the agent calls. I go, he doesn't want to meet with me. I go, that's a mercy meeting, which it was. And Wayne Morrison called him and said, I know you're not going to cast this guy, but as a favor to our agency.
What a great agent you had to do that.
He really was a great agent. He got me in a whole bunch of movies with great directors. I miss him. He's still alive, but I miss him. But so I wasn't going to go because I was embarrassed. Like I had some self-esteem, but then I'm like, okay, I want to meet Jim Cameron. This is it. This is my chance. I love his work, love Terminator, love everything he's ever done. Mm-hmm. So I go in his office, and he's sitting there. Like, James Cameron is not like an average director. Like, I can see you directing.
Saying he's tall?
I can see you being a director?
That's my number one thing I want to do.
Well, then you should do it.
Well, my number 2 after starting a family.
Yeah. You should definitely do that. Freeze the sperm. Do something.
I have my sperm frozen in 2 different places.
That's
and when
smart.
you leave, I might jerk off into my freezer.
Oh, that'd be good.
But I really do have my sperm frozen.
That's very smart.
Thank you.
Very smart. Women, a lot of women, they get 35. They're like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Freeze your eggs before 35
very
if you
smart.
can. You know what? Actually, now I'm thinking about it, is I have so much cum frozen, I could maybe sell it as merch.
That's hilarious. Is it in the
Then laugh.
Is it in your ice cube trays?
No, there's these certain places that
That'd be funny if you're like,
we could, if we ever go on the road together, I could come in your ice cube trays.
You could. They're pretty big. I don't know how much you come, but these are pretty.
I would fill it up. I wouldn't.
No good.
I would come in one of the things.
Yeah.
And then they could use the 11 for the ice.
Yeah. And then I charge for it if you're gonna. Hey, my buddy here is gonna come in it. You're free. If it's women that want to have kids, look at him. Now you know what he looks like. He's tall. He's Jewish. That's what you're getting. He's probably pretty smart. He's got a podcast because they do give you a list of what these sperm donors are. They'll say their height. And I remember Rosanne's like, I like this guy. He went to Harvard. I go, he's fucking 5'8".
Wait a minute, you didn't use your cum?
5'8". Well, at first we weren't good because my cum is so bad, my sperm.
But if you were going to a sperm bank,
we're considering
then
you
why
as a
not
sperm
use
donor.
yours?
I was going to know mine's so good. These guys are top level sperm guys. That's
How
what they
many
do.
of those guys are in True Lies, Tom?
Yeah, no, I agree. But when you're trying to
this
make
is
a
before
family,
True Lies also.
yeah, there's a couple guys that were like 6'8", graduated from grade school. I'm like, that's the guy. That was our big argument.
Wait a minute, Tom.
Yeah.
The 2 qualifiers are 6'8", which is too tall, and graduated from grade school.
Well, yeah, she was big into education, college. After I'm like doctors, like I don't want that. I want to have a big kid.
Then why didn't you just get Shaq?
Play with. I would have in a freaking heartbeat.
Shaq is on my dream list of guests I want to get on this pod, and I think I will at some point.
He's great. Yeah, that's good to have that dream. Arnold. So I went to meet with Jim Cameron. He's a 6'3" Rambo Canadian, man. He's a cool guy. He's done every job, and he's drove a truck. He's done every job. That's why people are like on sets. He gets critical people because he's done the job, and it gets like he's distressed table. Like someone distressed this, so it looks like it's been used. He's good at that. So we meet, we talk a little bit. He's very cool, and at the end, he's like, "Do the audition scene." I'm like, I didn't even read it, man.
Which was the scene?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I said I didn't read it because I know I'm not getting the part. So why?
I don't buy this.
I don't want to be just. I swear to God, you can ask him. You have Jim Cameron on your show. He'll tell you.
I don't have any connection to Jim. I would love to, but I don't know how I would get him on this pod.
Yeah, and ask Arnold next time you see him. So then he's like, read it. It was 3 pages.
Why wouldn't you have learned it?
Because I was nervous that I'd really care when I didn't get it, and I'd be so disappointed. If I didn't try, I wouldn't be. It'd be like, yeah, maybe it's fun. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
So you know how it is. You go in for an audition, you got to learn all these stupid things. It's a lot.
Do you think that if you were to reach out to him or anybody, you would be able to get footage of your audition that we could show?
Maybe. But what happened is, we all stayed friends in that movie, which I thought, I bet all movies are like this. No movies are like that. So we've all stayed friends. Jim and I, and Arnold, Jamie Lee, and so he said, just read it for me. I read it one time, and he has a little camera there, and he's like, huh. And he yells, "Get Arnold down here!" Arnold's in the loft. I didn't know he was up there. And all of a sudden,
was Arnold hiding?
No, there's the other meeting. It's
kind of hiding.
It's a big, nice place.
Arnold likes to hide. I heard this.
Does he?
I heard that.
I don't know. It's hard to hide him. He likes to be seen too.
Yeah, I can hide him.
But all of a sudden he starts walking down the stairs, and Jim and I are watching him. And Jim said he cast me because I went, I could take him. Like, you know how you are as a man. You might not know. But you size up other men in case.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
In case the shit hits the fan. I don't know if you're like that. You might be a nice guy. Maybe too nice to have that. Where you're like, okay, what if I had to kill this guy? Yeah, a lot of people. But you grow up on a farm, you got to always be just a little, just say it goes through the back of your mind because you've worked with animals, and cows will kill you. A cow is done with you, they'll press you up against a fence and you will never breathe again. So you have a healthy respect.
You know somebody that was killed from a cow pressing them against a fence?
I know how to kill a cow, unfortunately.
That's not what I was asking, Tom.
Yeah, yes, I do know people that are killed by cows pressing them up against a fence, suffocating them.
Were you friends with Chris Farley?
He was my best man at my wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about your wedding until which
Yeah.
wedding?
Yeah, second one. It was a good one.
Because I was thinking of Chris Farley when he was in Tommy Boy, with all the cows would go past him. We'll show picture in picture.
Yeah, please do. He did an impression of me on Saturday Night Live. That's why I got introduced. And Victoria Jackson, which was Rosanne.
He did impressions of you before you knew each other, and that's how you became friends?
Well, we went out to host the show, and Lauren's like, Chris and you have a lot in common. Spend time with him.
Cool.
Meaning we're both addicts.
Sure.
I was sober.
Is that really what he meant? Was he trying to
no, he wanted me to try to help
him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did. And, you know, he came out, he played my brother in all my shows. There's some pretty funny HBO specials. But he was a great guy, and he tried very hard. He went 17, he was on his way to his 17th rehab when he died. But it's very sad. But so Arnold comes down, we do that scene one time, and it clicks. I do it click, like the chemistry is bananas. And Jim Cameron's like, you got the part, Tom.
In the room.
And he said, but don't tell anyone for 2 weeks. And I'm like, I swear to God, I won't tell anyone the best news of my life for 2 weeks. I go, I got to get out to my car and make some calls. And I literally called everybody I grew up with, everybody out here. Nobody believed me. My own wife thinks I'm back on drugs. And it was so much that night when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, which I do at night, got to see what all fucked up stuff I have on me. I went, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe, you know, that what I think happened. What do you got?
Do you hear that?
I do, but whatever.
I get very distracted by certain frequencies. I'm sorry.
That's
not
fine.
meaning to interrupt you.
That's a frequency of a. Sounds like do you have an air conditioning situation?
Yes, but that's not it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if it made it into the mix. Please continue.
It's not. It's fine. My hearing is so bad that I miss. There are some things I hear, but I have hearing aids, but they're Bluetooth that the kids keep put their.
This is what I was talking about. You said that you can't. Even you wear them.
Yeah, I can't wear them though. They put their TikTok videos in them. You know, like I'll be there, like there's like they think it's hilarious, but I'll wear it one day. You know, I've
put these on.
I'm a lip reader. I can hear you. If you want me to listen to the refrigerator, I'd rather not. But Arnold, they'd say wait 2 weeks. Jim didn't tell me why, because he didn't want to hurt my feelings why they had to wait 2 weeks. Because he left that meeting and went over to Fox, the head of the Fox Tower, and told them the good news, that the most expensive movie ever made at the time. Found the third guy after Arnold, Jamie Lee, and it's Tom Arnold. They're like, that's horrible news. And he said, why? He said, don't you read the tabloids? He's a crazy person. They said, Jim Cameron's like, I don't read the tabloids, but I wrote this movie. He's the guy. And they're like, we cannot approve Tom Arnold for this movie. And Jim Cameron, to his credit, said, that's disappointing to me because I wanted to make the movie here with you guys. Now I'm going to go down the fucking street and make it a Paramount. And they're like, we'll give Tom Arnold a chance.
Dude, you had your agent and James Cameron fighting for you to do things because they thought you were good in it when they thought other people, including you, didn't think you had a chance.
Well, it seemed impossible, but Jim Cameron was right. I was great in that movie.
You were great in that movie.
He was great. And it was great fun, and it was a game changer for me because Rosanne and I started getting divorced in 1994, and I lost my job the same day. I was a writer on Rosanne for the first 6 years. And everybody in Hollywood's like, he'll never work again. He has no talent. He's going to be back in Iowa in 2 weeks. And I remember thinking, that's probably true. But when I go back to Iowa, I'll have great stories to tell my grandkids about working on one of the best shows ever on television for 6 years. And Arnold and Jim were like, fuck them. True Lies comes out in a couple of months. It'll change everything. And it did. It did. It was you know, it was very grateful.
I want to... I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to call him, and if he answers, will you talk? And I want to see if he knows.
Who, Arnold or Jim?
I'm going to call Arnold.
Of course. First of all, it's add that Fubar season 2 premiere is June,
Fubar.
and I'm in that too. But he'll pretend you're promoting it.
It's good.
Now, are you guys friends? You guys stay friendly?
No, I haven't called him since. I never called him. We just texted when he was here. I don't know if he'll answer, but also shout out to Seth and Amy, who are writers on Fubar.
Amy Puller?
No. Pocha.
So they have some good writers.
Yeah.
They have a lot of other shit to write on their plate. Let me tell you, it's complicated. They're great.
Seth Cohen.
I'm sure I met them. They're great people.
But if you ever see them, and if you don't remember.
Seth and Amy, I'll remember. That's names. Yeah, I'll tell him that I know you.
Gulp.
Do they write from here and then, phone it in or whatever?
I don't know. They do live in L.A., so...
because show street's up there. I noticed that the head writer's in his backyard a lot. The guy who created the show. When we talked to him. New Jersey or something.
You got to put these on for the phone. Also, I have to figure out this thing.
Don't blame me for this call. Don't say I said to do it.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Arnold?
Hey, Rick, how are you? How you doing? How's your shoulder?
My shoulder's doing good, thanks.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Good. It's hot here, Brentwood. What are you doing?
I have somebody on the podcast that I wanted to see if you guys maybe had anything in common.
Who's this?
Tom Arnold.
Hey, how are you, buddy? I saw you last week.
Wait, Tom seems to be a little upset for some reason.
No, I've wondered if it's fake. Arnold, when was the last time we saw each other?
A week ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It is him.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, sorry to bother. It wasn't my idea for him to call you.
I'm in the backyard here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good here.
I said mention Fubar, though.
Yeah, Fubar, yeah, you were brilliant in it when you came to do it. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot here.
Tom, why do you seem so, what are you, annoyed?
No, I'm not annoyed. I just want to make sure we're not bothering him. He might be out there with his little horse.
Yeah, with the mule and the two donkeys here. Daisy and the donkeys here.
Well, Rick says he knows you very well. He had a great interview with you.
Yeah. He came, did the podcast, and then he also had an MRI at the same place for the shoulder, which, who Mel Gibson told me to put the stem cells in there, go to Panama, but I didn't do it. Yeah.
Hey, Arnold, is it true that when Tom was auditioning, you were hiding in some loft or something, and then you came down and he got the job right away?
He was meeting upstairs.
Yeah. I was very busy here because, Jim was doing the casting there, and he had said, look, everything that I do with Jim, I trust him implicitly. And he said, Tom's coming in, but then the rapport between him, he deserved the role because of this.
Thank you, buddy.
Is there's some story? Is it true that Tom, James, some people didn't want Tom in it, and he had to do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What was that story?
Because listen here, because he went to 20th Century Fox. First, he wanted Jamie Lee Curtis. I didn't know that Jamie could do this because I said, no, she's too pretty to be, Helen. And he said, no, watch this. And he looked at the Fish Called Wanda. And then I said, that's her. But also he said, this is Tom Arnold's part because he's natural, perfect. And he went to Paramount instead if he was not going to have them. And they said, okay, do it.
Yeah, very grateful. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Good to see you again.
Oh, yes, again.
Really good to see you.
Yeah.
Arnold, do you like hiding in places? Because Tom says it's too hard for you to hide.
Well, it's hard for you to hide unless you have something stupid like a donkey. You go in the backyard, you hide behind the shed. I ride my bike in the backyard in Brentwood, and I go behind the shed, go behind the house, and the donkey looking. And, eventually they find you, I give him a cookie.
Well, he rides his bike. Let me say this. When I went up to do Fubar the first time, he said, let's go for a bike ride.
You're saying Arnold?
Yeah. And I said, I didn't bring my motorcycle. He says, no, bicycles. And he had two bicycles ready. We had matching shirts. And he wanted me to have a cigar in my mouth while we rode. And I'm like, I have to remember how to ride a bike. And he rides right out, got his Terminator glasses, right out in the traffic, and people are like, holy shit, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, because,
he goes, I'll be back.
Yeah, I ride the bike to their Gold's Gym, the e-bike.
Yes.
And people honk and they go, hey, this and that.
Jesus. It makes me nervous. Well,
what makes you nervous?
Him ride the bike all the time.
Well,
but this is
why are you afraid somebody might hit him and ruin their car?
Yeah, that's true.
Arnold, do you like that joke?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Well, if I go to Venice there for the Gold's Gym, this is my neighborhood because I also bought real estate there. That was the Mr. Olympia, me and Franco Colombo built. You can still see a brick wall that I would do with Franco then.
That's very cool.
Arnold, why do you have my number saved? Did you know that it was me when I called? I'm flattered. Oh, you just answered?
No.
Well, would you ever want to come back over again?
Yeah, I would love to
would
do
you ever? Would you?
Hey, next book.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Would you ever come on with Arnold? And we could call it Tom and Arnold instead of Tom
I'll
Arnold?
do anything Arnold does.
All right, well, then, you know what, let's
for
do it.
everything. He always does the top quality stuff. I'll do anything he does.
Let's have him on. Come on in, Arnold.
Hey, good to see you. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at Alvin's licking our
Yeah.
handshake because
Yeah.
he knows.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here, let me get this.
Also, let me, I want to focus you guys properly. So I'm going to bring the f-stop up a little. I'll bring my iris up to match it. There we go. Brilliant. And I'm going to do a manual focus. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Look at this, the book.
Yeah. Good book.
You know, Rick, I forgot to tell you. I'll be back on the Rick Glassman's Take Your Shoes Off podcast. That's why I wore the glasses.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Very smart. Loved your documentaries too. Man.
Yeah, thank you,
We'll
yes.
talk about those, Really
Three-part
good.
documentary on Netflix.
Yeah. What's your next documentary going to be about?
This is, they're doing another Pumping Iron.
Oh, okay.
This is, they call it Pumping Iron again.
That was a great movie, man. Pumping Iron.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah, that was good.
So you had no idea that Arnold was going to do this? You didn't text him and tell him that you were coming?
No,
I
I
did
don't.
not.
I
I
don't
did not.
text. No, only phone calls. Tom
Yeah.
knows this.
You love surprises.
FaceTimes. You done a lot of FaceTimes. Wherever it could be late at night. You FaceTime. Thank you, buddy.
Can't smoke it in here, but
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Thank you.
I'll treasure this.
Yeah, this is $3 there at the smoke shop.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
You got to save money, man. You're almost 80.
Nowadays, you have to
Yeah.
save up because of the inflations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inflation's bad. It's bad.
So I have Arnold and Tom Arnold
Yeah, it's
on the
a very
podcast.
big deal.
Tell me about some stuff. Like, what do you remember about True Lies and working with him? And
Well,
I heard go ahead.
all sorts of memories. They make the movie.
Did you guys ever make James upset or something?
Well, the one time we went for a walk and then he found us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that one time that we were in Washington, D.C., and had the street blocked off, Constitution Avenue. And you were in the front. I was sitting next to you. Bill Paxton was in between us. And there's 500 people watching. You can't see the movie, but I don't know if the light went out right here. And you're like, they'll take 20 minutes. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the monuments. And no one loves the monuments more than this guy.
Is that true?
Or America. And it only took 2 minutes. So we came back around the corner. Look at the fucking Lincoln Memorial. Look at it. And Bill Paxton and I are like, what the fuck? Anyway, James Cameron was in the middle of the street standing because it only taken 2 minutes to change the light. And they had
Is this what you're
traffic
talking
blocked.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fill the
yeah.
rest in.
Well, we went, for a walk here, but I showed them the Washington Monument, and the Capitol building and all this stuff and all that and this. And then I came back, it was 15, 20 minutes, but then James Cameron is mad. He go, hey, get back here, you assholes.
Yeah.
With your gun too long,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember what he did? When he slammed his hands on the hood and came around to my car door, opened it, and he crawled over me, and I fucking
He
slicked out of
remembers.
there.
Arnold remembers.
Yeah, tell me, remember? What did he say to you?
Yeah, he said, if you ever do that again, that'll be hasta la vista, baby. Because it is a joke from Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that in the script you didn't want to say I'll be back, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to say this.
What did you want to say?
Because I didn't
You
think
wanted to
that
say I will be back.
Yeah, I will be back. Because this time I'm...
Did you know about this?
I did not. But wasn't O.J. Simpson going to play your role originally?
Yeah. They were going to do O.J. Simpson's, but then also after that it was Bill Cosby, a few different guys.
Nobody can picture O.J. as a killer.
Yeah.
They said it's not going to work. People won't buy it. It's really true. Now,
Was this before or after Naked Gun?
That's a good question. I think it was before Naked Gun.
Yeah, that was before Naked Gun. It was 1988. Yeah, playing
What year did Terminator come out? The original?
the original 1984. Yeah, but then the second one 1991.
91? I thought it was 92.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Early 90s.
Yeah.
Everything before True Lies, I don't even. It's early 90s, late 80s.
When did
late
you decide
70s.
you wanted to get into comedy? And how did you connect with Tom on that?
Well, look, because after that, I always wanted to do comedy. James came to me and said, let's do action comedy. I said, well, make up your mind, But once I got with Tom, then I realized.
Do you say make up your mind because action or comedy?
Yeah. But then.
What was the movie you had right before True Lies that was interesting? It kind of needed not that you needed a comeback, but was it?
Yeah, the movie before True Lies.
Yeah. What you remember that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
What is
then
it?
there was after True Lies.
Remember that one before True Lies?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. What was that called?
That was the original name.
I'm curious what you were going to say about after, but what's the original name?
Well, the original name for the movie was look what happened again, because it's also a movie where they're in trouble, and I have to save the day. And then, once they make the movie, I go out, I do their press tour and this.
What was the movie? I don't know. I mean, I know Total Recall was probably before.
Yeah, Total Recall. The Sixth Day was after.
That was after.
Yeah, that was after. The Running Man was way before.
It seems like you remember the name of the movie.
Last Action Hero.
Yeah, Last Action Hero.
Oh wait, we talked about that. Last Action Hero bombed in the box office, and they weren't. And then True Lies brought you. I do remember we did talk about that. Swipe to it.
Yeah.
What did the failure in the box office of Last Action Hero do to your ego?
Made my ego very deflate, But just for a day, because then I don't give a shit, There's other movies. Don't get bogged down by bullshit.
Right. Schmay.
Don't get bogged down by the schmay. You use the schmay.
Right.
No matter what you're doing.
It's like the Force. You use it's the Force as opposed to what Vader would do.
Yeah.
Now, the failure of Last Action Hero, which, by the way, I loved.
Yeah.
You saw this French film called La Totale. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, this because you're saying it in French. Yeah.
Which inspired the idea you called James, and this birthed True Lies.
True Lies. Yeah.
Which was massive.
Unbelievable movie here that we made. Jamie Lee Curtis, still a great friend of mine, one of the most legendary screen actors and a wonderful person. We said, hey, wouldn't it be good to have a movie where we're both hanging from planes?
Yeah, or hanging from
schmay
helicopters. Get down, helicopter.
Yeah, helicopter. Yeah. Get down. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. But then after that, I went to do Junior, which I said to.
Was Junior after True Lies?
Yeah, right after. Okay. And then I didn't see.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one where you had the baby? What was the one where you had the baby?
Yeah, that's the one with
Danny
the baby.
DeVito. That was their twins. Their twins reunion.
Emma Thompson. And,
she's great, right?
Yeah. Then he has a baby. I said, Jim, when does the True Lies come out? Make sure it comes out before.
All right, Arnold. Whatever, dude. so Tom, I mean, who cares then? When you guys hung out last week, what did you guys do?
We have a charity that Arnold started many years ago. We do called After School All Stars, and we had a gala. And
is that Southern for a woman?
The gala?
A gala?
Oh, could be, but we've raised $1.6 billion for after school programs around the country.
1.6
Arnold
million
really,
or billion?
Billion. Now he really would have.
How do you raise 1.6 billion? What are you talking about?
What you do is you raise like 4 million and then I grease it.
No.
Give
but
the rest
I'm sure. But as Arnold will tell you, you have what's the big fundraiser we do at your house?
It's called Donkeys and Dudes. Where
he would do that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, he has a plays poker.
Yeah.
We made $7 million because people want to go to Arnold's house. They love it.
$7 million doesn't come close to $1.6 billion.
But I'll tell you something he does. Well, no, but all year round we have a lot of sponsors. He works with the government to give somebody whoever's the president, he flies to Washington D.C. and has to give money for after school programs. But he and then he auctions off his memorabilia, at which I had a buddy, Stephen Klubeck, who bought a pair of his Terminator boots for $250,000. The boots. And then I saw the next year he has another pair of the boots.
Yeah, this is how you do this.
Yeah.
Because as Tom will tell you, you know this.
It's like he wants to get all the shit out of his closet.
Yeah,
like,
well, maybe he had. Do you have multiple boots from the movie, or are you lying?
Well, no. When you do a movie, you have to have the multiples of the same thing because you shoot a movie. It's not just an hour and a half. No,
is that true?
You spend months to shoot.
Well, here's
it.
the thing. Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols. Remember the Sex Pistols? He was guard player. He used to, before he got sober, they had a platinum record, the Sex Pistols, and he used to sell that to drug dealers. Say this is the one, and he sold like 160 of them. They're like, oh, we got the platinum record, So that's for drugs, which he thought he wanted to do. The others to help children. You can pretty much do everything. But Arnold's legit. He doesn't mess around. When he was governor, he didn't violate any laws.
As governor, did you ever work in the Omega sector?
Yeah. The Omega sector. I'm not supposed to talk too much about it because it's underneath a mountain.
You know what the Omega sector is, of course.
I do.
It's the last line of defense.
Yes, and I know that the first thing we filmed together, you'll remember this, was us walking.
Well, he remembers.
Naked. Do you remember naked?
Yeah. Naked because Jim wanted us to get to feel naked.
No, he wanted us to see our skeleton.
Yeah.
So when we walked through the thing,
the guns.
Yeah, and so I remember I see you and your buddies. You got a cigar, like this really tight little thing. And you're like, let's go, Tom. And I'm like, oh, I don't even want to take my shirt off. But I did.
Wait, why'd you have to take your shirt off? Because it was a real x-ray?
He really, yeah. And they filmed it way because our walks are so different. He was afraid people would think it was fake when they see the movie and we go through the scanner at Omega Sector.
But question for you. If they're showing your skeleton, what does it matter if you're wearing a shirt or not?
Because they get a better shot of your body.
I don't think that's true. Every time I go get an x-ray, they don't make me get naked.
Yeah, we'll talk to Jim Cameron.
Well,
you
not
tell
when
him.
you had the shoulder.
Yeah. I did put on a robe, but they didn't make me take the robe off.
Yeah, but they brought the robe. You don't know what it's made of. This is X-ray robe.
So in the movie, speaking of wanting things to look real, in the beginning of the movie, when Arnold's character goes to the party that you help him through, and then he leaves, and they ask for the invitation, and he goes, "You remember the line?" He's like, "Where's your invitation?"
I said, "Here." Go. I said, "Here it is."
Yeah, and then you push this cigar case.
I got it right here.
And then the explosion. And then he runs away through the snow.
Yeah,
and you bang the two dogs' heads together. But then we see the dogs.
These are not real dogs.
We had to not kill them.
Question for you: when he bangs the Doberman's heads together to knock them out, and then there's a shot of the Doberman shaking it off and running away. I wonder, did James want to do that to show that the dogs weren't hurt, or was that like a studio note?
That had to be a studio note.
Whenever I think that, even as a kid, I'm like, that had to be a studio note.
Yeah, and because also Jim, they always want to make you come into Loopy after the movie and make it PG-13, and you go in there so they play it on regular TV. And he's like, fuck it, do it, just do it. This is stupid. This is going to ruin the movie if you don't say what I said. And you don't really have to do it. And then they have to, because it was an R-rated movie. He's like, fuck them. Let's do it. Bleep it. They can bleep you.
Right. Like every time you say the
because when you do a stupid, forget about it instead of fuck you, you can tell.
Well, let me hear you say fuck you, and then let me hear you say forget about it.
Fuck you. Forget about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's not
doesn't
as good.
even lip up.
But Jim doesn't do this sort of thing because we made Terminator and then there's swear words, and I said, "Hey, Jim, I didn't know you made movies for television." He got pissed off. He said, "Don't change."
I heard
anything.
that story, but that was about Martin Scorsese.
Could have been also him because Raging Bull, they had me there before they fired me.
I heard a story for Joe Pesci that he was swearing too much and they couldn't maybe put it on television, and Joe Pesci kind of like played Martin Scorsese a little bit, like, "Oh, I didn't know you make movies for television."
Yeah,
that's good.
I remember one time on Raging Bull, I was cursing. And Erwin Winkler said, could we cut down on the cursing a little bit? Don't forget, the television version, we won't have any of this in all night. And Marty was going, yeah. And I put my 2 cents in and I said, "Oh, I didn't know you made television movies, Marty." Well, he went crazy. He went, he's right. What do I care? What do we care? No, he's right. I make movies for, he's right. We don't make movies for television. No. That's good. Curse more. Do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. That's what he was doing the joke first.
Yeah, but first I did the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is, in that movie, The Snow, there's a lot of scenes where you're running away, but there's some where it's clearly a stunt double.
No.
I'd like to put up the picture.
Which one? Give me a scene.
When he's running down the snow and shooting the people in the snow skis and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some shots where it's not even a specialty shot.
Yeah.
That clearly you had a stunt person doing it all, and they showed you for the close-ups. But even the mediums, or at least not that far of a wide, you could see it's like I could tell this is you. I'm right in front of you. But on the movie, it would looks like not so real.
Yeah, you want to know why they do this?
Well, Tom knows the reason.
Well, if it isn't Arnold, it's because it'd be very expensive. If anything happened to Arnold, if he injured his knee or his shoulder, you have to shut the movie down. And again, it was the most expensive movie ever made. But he does more than you think, because I remember watching the horse riding in the horse
in the mall.
I'm thinking, what's that?
In the mall.
Yes, and I think that's a stunt guy, Peter something. But a lot of the shots I thought were the stunt guy were him, because Jim's like, no, that's Arnold. He does this, he does that.
Yeah, I'm going to reveal something to you here today for the True Lies, and Tom knows this.
And Jamie Lee does all. She's hanging out of the helicopter when they're going over things. Like, she wanted to do everything.
Did she even do the dancing?
She did do the dancing. But Jim would go, if it was her hanging out, he'd be the guy with the camera on the edge of the... He made sure that people knew that he was also doing that. And the dancing, she when she fell, she literally fell. It wasn't in the script, and you can see it scared.
Yeah, me. Yeah. They call it Jackie Chan Lee Curtis.
Is that true?
I don't think so. I love Jamie Curtis. So.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Look at this brilliant cast they put together.
Yeah,
that's why this movie, the numbers.
When you probably remember this because you were on my podcast before. Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't going to be in the on the title card, the opening title card.
Yeah,
and you campaigned
I said,
for
no,
that.
it's got to be.
Did you know about this?
I believe that from Arnold. Very generous.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, this is a movie about, there's all sorts of, the action and all this, but it's about family and friendship.
Yeah.
So this is a domestic.
But his name came first.
Yeah. Because
my name was before the movie started. Like, as it opens, a different.
No, you're third build, but after the title card. They were before the title card.
Okay.
So
okay, well, but it was good. It was before the movie started. I was number 3. Let's put it that way. That's a huge deal.
You know what? You know.
I don't know the title card stuff that you know.
I know,
but I know this.
I remember everything.
If said Jamie Lee and Arnold's name was on the left. That's
yes.
There is a bit of a hierarchy for that.
Do you know why they put
it
on
Jim
the left?
Cameron's is first, maybe.
Yeah.
Why they put it on the left?
Because this is the side that you read first.
You read left to right.
That's very
true.
true.
In China.
Yeah.
You go the other way.
Yeah.
In Israel as well.
Very much so. It's very confusing. Everything is in Israel.
Show me a tattoo.
I did. I showed him this Star David.
Look at that.
It's a red, white, blue Star David. American Jew.
More Jewish than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Do you guys want to kiss?
Sure.
No.
He hasn't had a date in 8 years.
He knows.
Yeah.
He's trying to fix people.
I don't want it.
I don't need it. I can date. I could feel it when I could do that, but I don't. Just know I could. By date, I mean sex.
Yeah,
I can tell the way that.
I know you know the answer to this, Arnold, but Tom, I want to hear you to explain to our audience and to me, really, when you talk to Arnold about how it's been 8 years and stuff. How does he bust your balls? Like, what kind of jokes does he make toward you, or is he more like understanding?
Well, I mean, he's understanding of the reason, and he's very aware of all the nonsense. But I think when he was younger, he would have been pressing me to get out there and come, for my health. I think one time he told me you have to come 5 times a day.
Is this true?
Yeah. That's bodybuilding. It's in one of his books. There's a book he wrote before. Remember that one? Where you and all your buddies went in the forest naked with a bunch of booze and you oiled each other down. And read that. Those captions are pretty impressive.
Is this true?
Yeah, this is the joke. You used to have this game we play donkeys and dudes. That's where I got
but you'd lift rocks. They lifted rocks because they didn't have weights.
Yeah. You didn't have weights, a lot jugs full of water and sand, and rocks and the piece of wood.
But they do. I've seen them oil each other down at his house.
Yeah.
And, why do you like to do that?
Because you put your legs up and you
Thank you, by the way, for taking your shoes off. You have a boot. What happened to your foot, though?
Yeah, look at Rick made me put a fucking garbage bag in the boot because there's no. The donkey.
He is a weirdo about the shoes off thing, man.
Yeah.
It's the name of the podcast.
Yeah. But still. You can fake it. We can fake it. I have my shoes. I'll keep my legs down so you don't ruin the podcast.
Well, you're in my home.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's interesting.
You keep your shoes on at home?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is America.
Yeah, I vacuum.
America.
I do it all. But in Iowa on the farm, because you have shit all over your shoes, you have to take them off. We weren't allowed to play in the house. My dad's like, can't play in the house ever. So it's a whole different world. Like,
well, I'm sure you know this about Tom. What was Tom's? How much have you told Arnold a lot about your childhood?
Yeah.
What's some of the stuff about his childhood that stands
out? All of the corn that they eat there in Iowa, lots of corn, but the corn and this, corn and that.
Various kinds of corn.
Corn and the cobs.
Yeah.
Corn,
that's sweet corn. It's not all, when you fly over Iowa and see the cornfields, it's not for eating, most of it. Seed corn, feed corn, and then you have sweet corn, which is very tasty. But if you ate the corn that you see, it's awful.
You know what? When I make corn, and I love making things,
yes,
I like to soak it in an ice bath filled with sugar before chucking it. Do you ever do this?
That's interesting. Before you fill it in ice bath with sugar, and then you cook. Then you what?
I do, and then I cook it in its husk.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's interesting.
Yeah,
we'll try that.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Did he ever tell you about the story of when he was working on a pig farm or pig? What is it called?
Meatpacking plant.
And stuff about his cum and stuff.
Yeah. No, this isn't their. Yeah, they wanted not from the time that you wanted Shaq's cum.
Well, I wanted, yeah. I mean, I would have taken yours. For sure.
Yeah. I told him, I said, hey, I come five times a day. If you want this cum, I'll give it to you.
That's even, and when I heard that from, that's like a bodybuilder thing, man. You got to do that for your health.
Yeah.
Is it literally coming? Because I know you feel like a cum when you pump. Is this actual cum, though?
Yeah, this from the movie. Yeah. But now you actually come. This is the secret that I don't tell in the pumping iron. I say, hey, I feel like I'm coming. I come at home, and then I come, on a date, and then
But
I come.
His baby and bodybuilder were serious. Like, and I was like, how do you jerk off 5 times a day? You couldn't have a life. You're like, excuse me, what time is it? I got to get one of these going.
Huh.
And it's hard. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
In the morning? Jesus.
I always say that, and Tom knows this, I told Jim, hey, True Lies would have taken 5 months instead of 7 months if I didn't have to jerk off all the time in my trailer. 2 months of jerking off.
Straight jerking off.
When is your next book?
After this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I haven't.
Yeah. You got a $10 million advance for that book from the same people, Netflix.
Who
they
did?
Series, Arnold. Series, book, documentaries. Like it just for the book was $10 million advance. And then all the other shit, that's a lot of money. And he was always like, I got to be in movies. I can't do TV. What is Netflix? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I get it now.
Yeah. He said, Tom even told me, you have to do Netflix. I said, no, because I still had the DVDs there on the kitchen counter, and I didn't know that.
But now FUBAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, now FUBAR.
Great show. Season 2 is coming out
Your friends
soon.
are on it, Seth and Amy.
They are writers on it.
Yeah, but that's important.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Amy Poehler.
No.
That's what I already said.
That's Cohen.
Yeah. You should get Amy Poehler.
That would be great.
Yeah, she's a great writer.
Yeah.
Seth Meyer. That's who I thought you were
Seth
talking
Meyers
about. Yeah,
and
they
Amy
were
Poehler.
friends. They both used to host this thing, right, the news desk.
Yeah, they used to do updates
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
You forgot the name Saturday Night Live?
No, the Weekend Update. I forgot that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Who was Weekend Update when you hosted? Kevin Nealon?
Kevin Nealon, Dennis Miller first time. Dennis Miller first time, and then I hosted.
Dennis Miller's the guy from that movie, the Crips, the what's
Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, Bordello of Blood.
Bordello of Bloods.
Dennis Miller?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great comedian. He's the guy that everybody looked up to back in the day. Judd Apatow, all these guys
first
worshipped him.
Live HBO comedy.
But people they really looked up to him, and he was a mentor to a lot of those guys.
Yeah, he had that.
Norm Macdonald. Let me tell you, I hired him to write on the Rosanne show, which is right over here, shot over here. And when I'd go around and see comedians, and I'd hire half the staff that were comedians that I liked or friends, and teach them, here's how you write a script, the form. But they were funny. You can't teach that part. They had unique points of view. And so Norm Macdonald was one of those guys, and then one day he comes to my office and says, I got an opportunity to do my dream job. My dream job is hosting Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, but I need out of my contract. And I'm like, and they won't let me. And so I went over to the office of Tom Warner, who was the maid. I go, you gotta let him out. That's his dream job. He's out. People can leave if it's to do something else, a competing show. Fuck that. But that's his dream job. We gotta let him go.
How many seasons did he write on Roseanne before that?
6 years total. I forget what point Norm was.
Oh, so he
I think he did. I believe 1 or 2.
Cool.
But he made a good impression. We have very good writers.
It was a great show. Great show.
Fun.
Roseanne was one of the few sitcoms growing up that I watched with my parents.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah,
good. It's still once in a while it'll pop on and my kids watch it. It's good. I always remember, what were you doing that day? Were we smoking cigars? Did we remove the fourth wall? Did Roseanne get mad because I crushed her cookies? A lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch Roseanne?
Yeah. I went back and watched all of them when we started to work together.
Jesus.
Because I always research everybody I work with.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did you know he did that?
No, I did not know.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure he knew. Let me say this. The first 6 years when I worked, people always say, but every show jumps the shark. Every great show usually goes on a little too long. And the thing I would never do on the show, she's like, I want to win the lottery. I go, this family doesn't win the lottery. Maybe the next show you do, they'll win the lottery. So when I left, she's like, I'm going to show him we're going to win the lottery. And it really hurt the show because the show was about, she had fun doing it because she had all this, kind of absurd stuff there, which is what she wanted. It's her show, but everything kind of tails off in life.
Happy Days.
Yeah.
What about Happy Days?
This the jump the shark, when the Fonzie jumped the shark. Then they say, this is what we're going to say someday when Roseanne wants to win the lottery.
Yeah.
Do you think that they should have waited a little bit longer before the Fonz apologized?
For jumping.
Did he apologize?
He said he was sorry a couple of times.
Really?
No.
He's great. Henry Winkler.
It was really hard for him.
Hey.
Yeah.
Fonzie says, hey.
Yeah.
But he tried to say sorry. Maybe we could find it. But he's like, like he almost.
Yeah, he stutters.
Yeah,
That's really funny. You're making fun of him. He's dyslexic. He does.
I'm not making fun of Henry Winkler. The character of the Fonz was so cool. And back then, it was cool for a man not to apologize.
But this is
of course. Oh, you mean on the show, the character?
Yes.
I thought you were trying to get Henry Winkler himself to apologize.
Yeah, but what I really want to say is that I am very,
Font, you don't have to say you're sorry.
Good, I won't.
And I go, that's bullshit. Let me tell you why it's bullshit.
No, the Fonz.
First of all, if anybody asks you, and I'm sure the same way, what's the worst movie you ever did? You don't answer that because 100 people worked on that movie.
I agree.
And it's the best thing they ever did. But yours would be that
but what are you talking
Atlas
about?
in New York or whatever.
They had Hercules in New York.
They dubbed your voice.
Also the End of Days.
Wait, but what are you talking about the worst thing that they've ever made? What does that have to do with Happy Days? Everyone loves Happy Days.
Because I thought you were trying to get Henry Winkler himself to apologize for something. And I said, that's not okay. Yeah, he's great. Then I thought you're mocking his stutter.
I didn't know he stuttered.
I don't either, but what if he did?
Yeah, being more sensitive here.
Yeah, you're
about
right.
the Fonz.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm.
Who's that? Oh, Tom and I are very sorry, Rick. We didn't know.
But yeah.
Go
ahead.
Maybe it's
sorry.
because
I was just coming.
Yeah. Well, listen.
When
Joe Biden was slipping, I always offended like he's got a stutter. Don't make fun of him. And little do I, and it's funny because my Democratic friends like when Trump got shot in the ear, that's when I started voting for him because that's how can you not? I go when Biden died 5 years ago, nobody gave a shit. I didn't hear people going, I'm going to really support him.
Yeah.
You have an interesting relationship with politics.
Yeah.
You grew up quite, conservative.
On the right side. Yeah.
And you married quite
into a very,
His dad was a Nazi. I know. Just go ahead and say it. That's true.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yeah,
he had to deal with that shit.
Well, they had a lot of shame here.
A lot of shame, and they're alcoholics,
from the war,
etc. Broken man, weren't they?
Yeah.
Fucking broken man.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I met his mom.
Yeah.
And you look cold. I
This
describe
is,
it.
you know, the
That's
way-
why the Shrivers, the Kennedys, he's like, oh my God, look at these people. They say I love each other. They're up hugging. I want some of this, so I get it 100%. And they're like, we want less of this, so we want you. Mm-hmm.
You can't have donkeys in Austria. You can't,
Is that true?
make a movies. Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait. Why can't you have donkeys in Austria?
Not as a pet. You know, you can use them as
you probably could have as a pet. Austria, everything goes. They don't have the animal rights
Tell him.
groups.
You would know better than Tom.
Yeah. No animal right. You can make the sausage, jagerwurst, hunterwurst out of the donkey if you like. More gamey and the strong, tough meat.
What you're saying is you can't have a pet donkey in Austria. Tom thinks you can. Why would Tom know more?
You
than
can have
you?
what? Just by the way people are. They don't have especially back then. Nobody had any rules. Like you could whatever. And people were hungry after the war. They all lost. All the Austrian soldiers that fought for the Nazis, they had to come back home. They had no money. And so they had to eat their pets.
Yeah.
Like you would do that out of necessity. Like people are like, would you ever steal food from the store? I go, if my kids are hungry, that's where the food is, I'm stealing it.
It's the age-old philosophy question.
Yeah.
Is it okay to steal to help somebody else?
Yeah. This is the
versus who you're
mentality.
hurting.
Yeah.
It is.
Because there's no money, so people bring the pets to the restaurant, And
Do you know where Arnold first started making his money?
Leg bricks.
More specifically, owning the bricks that were laid.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
He's very, very wealthy.
Be useful. 7 tools for life.
Yeah,
I love Arnold,
good.
and I know so much about him. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm not very good at spelling words.
Yeah.
Ask me a word. I'll see if I can spell it. Ask me a word that's kind of difficult. I'll try.
Let's see here. Well, my daughter does this. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, that's too hard of a word.
Yeah, it is too hard. What's the largest number what's the biggest number? You have million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. What is the biggest number on the number chart?
I'll have to ask how much my ex-wife weighs.
Yeah, it's Google. Google. It's Google.
This is a good one. Yeah.
My daughter says Google.
What kind of sick bitch takes the
ice cream trays? That's very true.
Could you guys redo that scene?
Then I got to run. I got to get kids to school.
You got it. That's a saying for having to take a shit.
Yeah, I was trying to do this to you, but you couldn't.
I didn't
You're
see
not picking it up.
Yeah. Just tell me you got to go. That's great.
Okay, that's it. But I didn't want to ruin it. The show.
You're not ruining it.
There you go. You got to edit
that.
that out. Okay.
I get off the phone and I go like this.
You're all sad, cloudy, man. Yeah. You're sad, cloudy. Then a bus comes up really close to you, by the way, driven by the main stunt guy. And I actually, he came close to you. It's our guy. And I hit the bus. I go, fucker. Like I meant it. He came tight with my buddy. And then he's like, oh, my wife, Helen is cheating on me. Okay.
No, he knows. Go ahead.
Okay, go.
I say, Helen is cheating on me.
Oh. Yeah. Welcome to the club, man. I remember my first ex cheated on me. I can't remember what I said. But then I said, she took the ice cube tray. Yeah, that's fine. She cleaned out the house. I was at work. She even took the ice cube trays out of the freezer. What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer? It's happened.
And then I go.
Same thing happened to me with wife number 2. Remember?
There you go. That's
I had no
better.
idea nothing's going on, right? I come home one day and the house is completely empty.
I hate my
mean
voice.
completely empty. She even took the ice cube trays out of the freezer. What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice
That's
cube
something
trays
that
out
literally
of the
Rosanne
freezer?
had done before I came to work that day. She'd had somebody come to my house and steal. Arnold and I was doing this shake thing with raw vegetables, raw meat, and a shit ton of ice cubes. And no ice cube maker will make them. I had to make one in the morning, one for lunch, one at night. So I got 40 ice cube trays, and I opened up the freezer and I'm like, God damn it. She took the ice cube.
And if you want to get ice cube trays, head on out to Tom's tour at tomarnold.com.
Please come to my tour, guys.
And pick up some ice cube trays. What I was going to say is, do you know how to spell Schwarzenegger?
SCHWARTZ.
Nope.
No.
Whatever.
SCHWARZENEGGER.
That's right, Schwarz.
And I know how to spell it because Jay Leno did jaywalking, and you would ask people on the street to spell Schwarzenegger, and if they can, he would buy him a house. Nobody could spell it, and I had posters all over my wall of him, and I learned how to spell it in case I ever got that opportunity.
Do you know what Schwarzenegger, what it means in Austrian?
It means the Black Force,
the Black Plowman.
Oh, well, I'm thinking of in Spaceballs. May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah. No, that's Martin Scorsese.
No, that's not Martin Scorsese.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. Theme music.
Thank you. All right.
Scoot. I just gotta get a Polaroid.
Okay, great.
Blabbity blah.
Get your sit down. Get wherever you're gonna be. I want to close it and see how this goes.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Hi. Hey.
Okay, great.
How do you
That's
doing?
it.
All right, great.
Blue.